Rainbow Six Siege has changed so much in the last 8 years, from the content creators, the maps, the operators, and everything else in between. So in today's video, what I'll be doing is I'll be going over 16 facts only old Rainbow Six Siege players remember. Would you believe me if I told you that these were the year 1 operator icons? Well, they were. And I want you to try to guess as many as possible. And throughout the video, just think about it. And at the end of the video, I will show you what these operators were. So let me know how many you get right and how many you get wrong. Nomad and Cade were released, people were abusing the hell out of them. And you might be thinking, is it because the Nomad charges used to go off immediately? Well, kind of, yes. And Cade's Electric Claw was cool and definitely revolutionary in terms of the wall denial. But people were using these two operators primarily for the 44 mag. And you're probably thinking, people use this piece of garbage gun? Well, back then, it was basically a sniper in your pocket. You would spawn peek, you would do, no matter what, you can spam the pistol, and it was amazing. I kind of miss this gun being overpowered because it's so fun, and right now it is pretty buns. Used to be able to throw grenades back, and I kind of miss this feature because now when people cold cock grenades and just throw them at you, you're kind of forced to either run away or try to get in cover where you will take the least amount of damage, or just sit there and die, and it sucks. And it makes a lot of sense. And look how cool this was. What do you think is the most game-breaking bug or glitch that we've seen in Rainbow Six Siege? You might be thinking, oh, it might be rafter legs or the laundry machine glitch on Oregon. No, it was none of those. It was the castle FPS glitch. Back in the day, you used to be able to go castle, and at the start of the prep phase, as a defender, once you pick castle, you go up to a barricade, door frame, whatever, and you would spam placing down your castle barricade and exiting that animation. Now, what this would do is leave your game to go around 7 FPS, and as an attacker, that's nearly impossible. So people would basically get free wins just doing this, and it was a whole mid-off. Because back in the day, it wouldn't just go, 3 rounds. It would swap back and forth. And what would happen is people would just do this castle glitch for the entire game. And the person who gets to play defense last would basically win the round. And it was very stupid and very annoying. I miss the old Valkyrie. And I'm not talking about the Valkyrie where you can throw Velcams outside. I'm talking about the Valkyrie that was a pitcher. You used to be able to throw Velcams as far as you wanted, as long as it didn't go to the map and break. And for about a season or two, this was heaven because it was so freaking fun and unique, and it actually made operators like IQ super viable, and you would need to go this operator because if you didn't, you were not finding these Velcams. Now here's one for the Siege culture for year 1. You remember when Recruit was in ranked? That was just amazing because Recruit is just such an OG, and I don't know why Ubisoft has disrespected us by taking him away and taking him out of ranked. Ubisoft, let me troll some people. So back in the day, what you would do if you were up 3-0 or you were just playing people that you knew that you were going to completely slam, you would put it upon yourself to challenge to basically just go recruit. Whether it's attacking or defending, it didn't really matter. On attack, you would basically recruit rush with M870s. Now, you might think that's a little bit of a nerf, but the M870 is such a strong shotgun. So imagine just getting pumped by 5 different recruits running at you. You would not be able to kill all 5 of them. Or people would also just go 5 shields as recruit. I don't know what Ubisoft was thinking of making recruit a 3-speed, by the way, with the M870, but it was so fun. We're now living in a meta where less and less operators have grenades. And it makes sense because a lot of people were complaining about it and that just nades were overpowered. Imagine in a world where every single viable operator basically had grenades. For example, like Thermite. For some reason, Ubisoft thought it would be a great idea to give this man grenades. And honestly, it was cool. Like being able to get any of the stuff off the wall that was needed just by, being so self-sufficient. I gotta say, Thermite was kind of a bad bitch doing all that himself. It seems like Ubisoft is adding in a new skin every week or two, and especially with alpha packs, you can always spend your renown on something. But this wasn't the case back in year 1 and year 2. So what they did is they actually had attachments that you had to buy. And it made no sense to me. Because one of the worst attachments, being the suppressor, was 225 renown compared to the flash hider that was 63. Now don't get me wrong, attachments have changed so much in Siege and they've tweaked it to make attachments a lot better, so that's great. But I just think back. I thought I was balling on a goddamn budget, buying every single attachment for every single operator at the time. Like, I thought it was him buying the extended barrel, the suppressor, like the diamond skin. And like, I just think about all that renown I wasted just buying attachments just for Ubisoft to be like, okay, we're gonna make it free. And it makes sense. But like, why was I spending all that renown on suppressors? Okay, I'm gonna unlock a memory for a lot of the console players, and let's go back 3 years ago. Do you guys remember who Jovial is Bread is? This guy was something else. For reference, for people who don't know who he is, he was actually a decent sized content creator that was growing pretty quick, and that's because of his clickbait titles and thumbnails. In reality, back in the day, what you guys used to be able to do is you used to get 4 people on a Smurf on an unranked copper last season account, and you would basically boost. And people would get #1 champ, top 10 champ the first week of the season or first few days of the season just so they can get out YouTube videos. And this was one of them. So it was kind of funny that he was doing these tips and tricks videos and people were listening to him, even though he was completely boosted. And how do I know? Well, because he used to hit up my friends to try to get on unranked copper accounts to play with him. So let's kind of do a 2-in-1. First, we got the shield, which looks chunky, and it was actually so overpowered trying to push into one of those shields. Like, you did not know where you're going to get peeked from. It was actually very annoying. Next is this house angle on this bookshelf. When this was in ranked, you knew you were going to face some sweats just because of this angle. Next, look at this loading screen and how silly it just looked. Just overall, the UI and just Ash and all the operators being tiny was hilarious. Okay, so let's speedrun some of these. So we had old T-Hunt bots, which if you just recently started playing Siege and you played Terrace Hunt to warm up, you better say thank God, because back in the day, we only had Terrace Hunt to warm up, and there was these stupid little bombers that would sprint at you, and they had like 1,000 HP. They would basically just blow up C4 and try to murder themselves and you. Next, we also had Bandit 3 barbed wire. For some reason, Bandit was so unique that Ubisoft blessed this man to have 3 barbed wire. And at the time, barbed wire was way better than bringing a C4 since you have 3 barbed wire. And did I forget? When walking through barbed wire, it used to be super freaking slow to go through it. Also, Cav had a C4. I don't know why Ubisoft decided to give her a C4, but she had a C4. Also, Diamond wasn't purple. Diamond was blue. Only makes sense though because Diamond is blue. Also, how can we forget night maps? Night maps were taken out of the game because how broken the lighting system was, but I feel like as Siege progressed after all these years, I would like to see night maps back into Siege. Let me know down in the comments, would you guys want night maps? I feel like it would just spice up just how ranked and just how Siege feels overall. Kind of gives like the same repetitive maps that we keep playing, like Coastline, Oregon, Canal, etc. It would give it a whole new feel just playing it in the dark. But maybe I'm just trolling. Okay, so how many did you guys get right out of all these operator logos? I'm not gonna lie, looking at these, I only remembered like 2 or 3. When it came down to Bandit, Pulse, and Ash, that's literally all I knew. But I don't know, times have changed so much. Would you guys want the operator logos now to get a refreshment? Or are you fine with the operator logos staying the same as they would? Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see a part 2, be sure to like, sub, and comment, and let me know some things I might have missed down below.